What's up, guys? My name is Ted Darklaw, and with me, as always, is the Black Knight. We are the co-owners of... We are the co-owners of Hella Dope Toys. HellaDopeToys.com. And this show is hella dope. Aaron!
And broken.
How are you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
It's hot. It's hot as shit in my house. My AC went out yesterday. So
it's awful.
I have no air. I found the two fans that were in my garage. We were just living it up.
Well, I have AC, but last week on the show, I was drinking that urine, right?
Yeah.
And like the second we got off the show, I was such a dick, dude. I just fucking was like, okay, bye. And then I went on the longest, darkest journey of my life that just stopped like yesterday. But I know we joke about, you and I, we were at DFW and we were at Joefest. Boy, did I get a double dose of con crud, man. I was like dead all week. Feverish. Felt like I didn't have an air conditioner. So I'm still recovering from that. So thankfully we have 4 people that can talk so I don't have to.
Pretty much. I'm just going to push buttons.
Yeah. Pushing buttons sounds good. Like, we got 4 professionals on. They can just hijack the whole fucking show, honestly, for all I care. Yeah, that's probably the move. Other than that, how was your week?
Same old. Didn't do shit.
Yeah, we did a terrible
boom, fireworks. Didn't work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you were off all week.
I was.
Yeah, originally I was going to hit you up, but then I was also dying, so I did not hit you up, actually.
It's all good.
Oh, yeah. Still low-key dying. Well, cool, man. So tonight we're bringing in some friends, Aaron. We got some people that were at Joefest. We got some people that were at DFW. You and I were both at both of them. I didn't pull up any of the pictures because, forgot. So I'm not going to waste any time. We're just going to bring them all in at the exact same time right now. Oh, I love how that works. We have from the ToyLeet Network, our moderator, Action Figs, Ed. We have from A Punk with Toys, Mr. Lawrence, A Punk with Toys. We have from JMK Custom Works, Mikey. And then from Random Diorama, we have our good pal, Radnom. Friends, how the hell are you all doing?
Wonderful.
All I gotta say, it's a good thing you run your business a little better than you do your stream, because
I'm just glad Aaron's alive, because I thought that was the end there in the beginning.
I mean, there's no confirmation that I am actually alive. This could all be
AI is getting really good.
I thought my moderator Matthew was the only one that constantly had his camera fall for no reason in streams.
Yeah, no, I thought Aaron quit on me for a minute. He was just like, "Nope, fuck this."
you couldn't have timed it any better. You said it's going to be a shit show, then you turn it on and Aaron's camera falls.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I literally posted that. Ed said, we are the shit show, and then you guys came on and Aaron's camera went right down.
I laughed. If you could have heard me, I was laughing like it sounded crazy. I was dying because I thought Ted needed that. Ted needed that.
Well, Ted should still be able to see us. Ted, you can still see us when we're not on screen, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
So you should have seen us all laughing. I'm assuming everyone was. I know I was dying.
Accurate.
No.
I was just frozen in the moment of
We were
deer and
laughing with
headlights.
you, of course, not at you. We were laughing with
Look,
Of
you know,
of course.
see the viewers at home don't understand what just happened. Like I just went flipping through like 50 scenes trying to get you all organized into a specific spot, and I go to start the fucking show, and I realized I didn't upload the intro, so I had to go over here, I had to upload the intro on the fly, super fucking late. And you guys know, you all have been on here. I don't start this show late. We fucking go. And yeah. And then Aaron died immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Good stuff.
Welcome to Sunday, everybody.
Solid start.
We're out here doing it. But now that we got the shit show out of the way, it is time for everybody's favorite question. Right, friends, y'all know the drill. You've been here before. So I have to ask my good friend Aaron here. Aaron, what you sipping on?
Today we're taking a light day, man. We're just sipping on that purified waters of 7 Select, the 1.5 liter today. We got the big boy.
And
No and.
Where's
No
the Steel
sidekick
Reserve,
tonight.
man?
No and then?
you have fooled me before, Aaron.
Nope, not fooling you this time, man.
I want a refund. This is Bush League.
I'd be paying you. I want a refund. What the hell? I want a refund.
That's reasonable.
Okay.
I understand that.
At least I get that. That is fine. No, we're just we're chilling with the water today, man. It's burning up in my house, and I'm not trying to, get into a drunken dehydration in my 86-degree house.
But what's your basement feel like?
It's probably like a nice 70 down here.
See, that's not that bad.
Not that bad, but then I eventually got to go back upstairs.
You don't have
Nope.
to.
No, you don't.
You can bring your wife down with you. You said you sent the kids elsewhere.
I mean, do I?
But you don't have. Okay, hey.
Stay down there
Hey.
all night long.
Hey,
I don't think she's here in the chat yet. So I think we're good.
Single for 10 plus years. So I don't take relationship advice from me. All right.
It's cooling off. So I got dual fans, and at least in the bedroom, so at least it's cooling off. But the rest of the house is just miserable. Maybe Titan. Come at me, bro.
Watch out for the 6th finger as the stream goes on. Yeah.
We were doing a segment here, doing a bit, Aaron.
Hey,
Aaron
they
forgot,
start.
you got to play the intro again, Ted. What you sipping on?
This is
Start
just
all
going to
over.
be a fucking uphill fucking battle. Jesus Christ, I might as well just prepare for this thing to go till fucking midnight. All right, well, we're just going to go down the way here. Ed, my friend, what are you sipping on?
Well, as you say, in my trusty Hella Dope mug, I'm sipping on Black Silk Black Coffee.
Black Silk Black Coffee.
Mhm.
It's a lot of black, my friend.
Sounds
Yeah, a lot of black in there. Real black, dude.
Well, once you go that way, you know what they say.
That's fair. That's fair.
good point.
I'm not.
All right. Lawrence, what you sipping on?
I got my wonderful Aldi Cola because it's much cheaper than Coca-Cola, and I'm pretty sure it comes out of the same factory.
Nice. Same swill. Love it.
Smart.
Mikey, friend, what you sipping on?
I made a Bloody Mary.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to need a few of those.
Those vegetables.
Yeah. Vegetables are good.
The last 3 nights of nonstop drinking, I figure today I should at least,
First
Drink
off, why would Mikey need a few of those? He's already spent a few days with myself and Ed. I think he must have spent a day with Radnam. That's speaking about you two up there.
Yeah.
So Mikey was drinking while he was with us. So
It's true. But at no point was I ever drunk
no, you didn't seem that drunk.
at either show.
That you
Ken,
can
on the
recall.
other hand, Toy
Ken.
Connections, he was drunk.
Well,
no,
that's what we expect from Ken.
That
There
was my
more going on
first.
than just drunk.
was my first message to Ed. Was I said, "Has the Drunken Master made an appearance yet this year?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." He kind of peeked his head out a little bit.
Yep, that was Thursday night at like 8:00.
And then he did some gummies that really sent him.
Oy. Canadians, am I right?
Yeah.
I thought Canadians were supposed to be able to drink too.
No. They drink syrup, dude. It's fucking weird.
Maybe that doesn't apply
only
to
the
the Asian
strongly
ones.
Irish ones.
And he's Canadian, so
Yeah.
Radnam, what you sipping on?
You know, it's like the same thing every time. I'm such a creature of habit. It's literally the same Kroger seltzer,
And Earl Grey tea.
cranberry. No Earl Grey today because I was sleeping a minute ago. And a bottle of water. So very simple.
You guys, responsible adults.
I know. Look, I used up my alcoholic points at a young age. What can I say?
Yeah, he has a deficit.
Yeah.
We were putting things in our bodies that we shouldn't when you were still a baby, Mikey. So
I heard you're still putting things in your body that don't belong.
Yes. You weren't supposed to tell anybody.
just as bad.
Confidence.
I mean, we just kind of assumed that was.
I did like you for a little while, Mikey.
Well,
Now you're
we
spilling.
can
my
talk about what
secret.
that was like.
Well, as for me, in my trusty hella dope mug, I have some coffee and then I have some Saratoga. Big ass bottle of Saratoga, bigger than my head.
Got some
I'm not AI,
authentic
damn
New
it.
York piss water. Good for you.
Yeah, love this shit. So good.
Gross.
So good. It's saving that all day.
I'll bet you
All right, Aaron, let's that chat came in hot. Let's see what's going on with them.
Of course. Roll keeper, of course, taking down the #1 spot again this week. Cons everywhere. There's a con. I'm not a con. He's a con. Just cons everywhere. Our good friend Trusted Screamer. Happy hella dope day, my good sir. And of course, he's hella dope and chilling with the wife because obviously no NASCAR.
No NASCAR.
Oh no!
You mean right turn only?
Yeah.
Or is it left turn only?
Left turn. It's all left turn.
All right, I don't watch it.
Gee,
Oh, that's the worst way to turn. Who
I
wants
would be
to
going-
left all the time? Oh, that's
I don't watch
awful.
it. All right, I'm sorry, I don't watch it.
No, I'm just saying, who wants to turn left? You should turn right. It should be right turn.
that would be
That just
true
makes
skill.
sense. Yeah.
And there would always be a curb because that's the real hard thing about the
That's
right.
stupid. That or a median.
And it is true. When they do turn the other way, Dale Jarrett dies. So,
Yeah. That's dark.
Jeez!
but it happened.
Leave it to Lawrence. Damn
Wow!
it, Larry. You're bringing the show
Too
down.
soon, friend.
This is Harrison talking to Ted about sports.
It's never too soon.
Anywho, son of a crayon slayer. How's it going? Good to see you. Headcanon has come to join us. At this point, guys, stop talking about cons and putting out the good stuff everyone has been talking about from the con. Let's shout out or put out. Well,
Yeah. Put it
you
out,
first,
boys.
my friend.
I tried
You
telling
put it
girls
out.
that this weekend. They didn't listen.
They never do.
It's not one of their
But
strong.
you gotta buy me something first. Like, bitch, I ain't got no money. James Lucas, he's here. The show may start. Menjoza, what's up, man? How's it going?
No, whoa. That is Menjoza.
Oh,
Menjoza?
Excuse me, sir. Menjoza.
He has earned that silent J or that J.
Soft.
Oh,
And Menjoza, I don't dislike you. Just so you, just want to reiterate that, so you don't think I still hate you.
he does. He's not fooling nobody on this show.
Starting to think that's how Punk starts all of his conversations.
No, believe me, if I don't like you, I'm fully.
Punk just carries around a little apology note that he just writes to people.
Right.
Just first thing he says, I have no problem with you.
That's my next sticker from Sticky Brand. Just, there you go.
That's a good one.
And if you get the other one that I do hate you, then
It's gonna be like a check yes or no thing. It's like, you hate me, check yes or no.
Damn it. Matthew Matson, what's up, man? How's it going? Same Time Toys, what's up?
Shane.
K-Mac, it's Hella D. Hella D and Hella Sunday. Remember that. There'll be a quiz on this later.
Blessings.
Got it.
Blessings.
The Titan Hail to the Hello Dope duo and the Hellions in the chat, of course. Technical difficulties? No, it's just Ted. Ted is the technical difficulty.
It's actually
I'm a
technical
walking-
difficulties.
Technical difficulty.
Technical difficulties.
Ted, yes.
Testicle. Mhm.
Technically.
Testicle
Technically.
difficulty.
But through his testicular fortitude, he
Right.
endeavors to persevere.
His testicular technical difficulties.
Mhm, yes.
Yeah.
Jeff has remorse for you, Ted. I hope he hopes you feel better. Try not to die.
Thank you. I'm still trying. Still trying.
What else we got up in here? G.I. Jetman. What's up? Jason DeMello. Coors, baby. He's drinking Coors.
Drinking Coors. Watching NASCAR.
Watching NASCAR,
Hell
damn.
yeah, brother.
Drinking Coors.
Rocky Mountain Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Hey, the quick no. There you go. The answer is no. Today, that's on a Monday, not a Sunday.
Yeah. And Punk's more organized because all he has to deal with is himself. I have to deal with Aaron.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people say, like, I couldn't do what you do all by yourself. I'm like, I don't have to deal with anyone else. It's awesome. Like, I never have
So
to
when
deal
you
with
say that, I just gotta get rid of Ted then.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Oh, okay.
I'm the
But then you'd have to do shit.
Tune in next week where it'll just be me. Frozen.
Then it's just a dope show.
Just regular dope.
Stars now.
Yeah.
The dope show.
Manson, I was thinking that.
Indeed. Our good friend, the Briscoe from there.
Briscoe.
Let's go.
And Elite Legend. How's it going? If you missed our episode with him last week, definitely go check that out. It was a fun time.
It's 2
We
weeks.
all had a blast. And whatever. Time eludes me. Last week is this week. Next week is tomorrow.
I feel like I was just here. I was
Okay.
just in a fever hallucination world for a week.
I believe the three of us were sitting at a table while that was happening to about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Good time.
Same time Toy says there were gummies at Joefest.
Well, Ken got some.
Yes.
Ken got some. He might have got them all. That's the problem.
Woody says, "Holy shit! Look at all this meat,
What a wood.
earthy meat."
Woody.
Woody. He said wood. All right, boys, you gotta behave now. The wife's in the chat now. Okay, behave.
Bethany, you wouldn't believe what Aaron was saying before you showed up. It was
She actually
Awful.
believe it.
Awful things.
it was awful.
Awful.
All nice things about you, just other things.
Now, see, she wouldn't believe that.
Right.
Everything else would have been believable
Yeah.
until you said that.
Dang it, you ruined it.
I was trying to
Oh,
help
dear.
you. Trying to help you, bro.
This is either Robert or Stacy. We're not sure which one this really is. Previous episodes, which seem to believe that Robert's not actually Robert. It is Stacy in a Robert mask. You pick and choose which one this is.
I think Robert's been not actually here for quite some time.
Indeed. Well, I mean, if you saw the last time Robert was on, he got attacked brutally by a steel chair.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been the same since.
No, it's been like a whole digital Weekend at Bernie's situation.
Correct.
Might be some Social Security fraud involved there. I'm not sure.
You
be.
know,
Could be.
I get 5%, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
So when that happened, it was all a setup for that, right? When Stacy took out Robert, it was all a setup.
No,
No.
never. We would never conspire.
I deserve a 1% raise, so I keep quiet.
Bet you. You got it.
All right.
1% of nothing. Still nothing.
Whole lot of nothing.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this cap from my water bottle.
But I could trade that in like, What is that game called? Fuck, draw a blank. Where they use bottle caps for currency.
Pogs.
You're the oldest one
Fallout.
here. We don't know all.
Fallout, yeah, Fallout.
Fallout. It's a new game. It's not an old one. That's why I forgot.
I thought you were talking about like Jax or something like that.
Right.
Oh,
Briscoe says he wants Ratnom's hat, punk shirt, and Ed's mug.
It's enchanted. You can't wear that. Only
Obviously.
that's right.
And then, of course, I'm not prepared for this. So it's been a while since I've done it. Our good friend, Northern Nomad, you know him. I know him. We know him. Says, and I quote, "Can you dig it, suckers?" Nomad, good to see you, man. All right, that's all the stuff.
Perfect. I love that being all the stuff. And that means, friends, there's that familiar sound. One that might bring a little PTSD to Radnom and Mikey. But I have good news for you guys, friends. You just dealt with this. So you're going to be off the hook. You're off the hook tonight. So we're going to change this view here for a minute. Let me rearrange you fellas around. Hold on 1 second here. Aaron, you go up here. And then Mikey, you're going to hide. Ed, you're going to be right there. And perfect. We are set up for the lightning round. Friends, it's been a long time coming, huh? Long time coming. So, Lawrence, Ed, do you guys are you familiar with the lightning round?
Yes, a little
I've
bit.
seen it once or twice.
Yeah, we've seen it a
Once
couple
or
times.
twice. Yeah, okay. Perfect, cool. So, you're both going to be asked a series of questions while the clock is ticking, and you have to answer this as quickly as possible. And if time runs out, we all die. Pretty simple, right? Simple concept. Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. So,
Rogue
Lawrence, you're here on the left, so we are going to start with you. Are you ready for your lightning round?
Gonna do my best.
That's all we can ask. Lawrence, what the fuck is an ollie?
It is when you pop off the ground on your skateboard.
Correct. Ask me if I like Dr. Dre.
You like Dr. Dre.
Hell yeah. Correct. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love Ohio?
Oh, 0. Oh, you said 1.
1 to 10.
I gotta go with 1, but there should be a 0 in there. But 1.
So that's a 10. Perfect.
Correct. If you were a transformer, what vehicle would you turn into?
Ooh, the Lamborghini Countach.
Correct. I don't even know what the hell that is.
We know.
What was the attendance at WrestleMania 3?
93,173.
Correct. Can Hulk beat Superman?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
The Superman
Fun
is
disagree.
overpowered.
Correct. Are you scared of clowns?
No.
Correct. Because you're not scared of anything, right?
Correct.
Give me your best Mossman.
Oh no.
Oh no! Correct! There
Got the
it
taste of the
is.
Grumble Dubs. I hear that shit way too much, alright? And everyone thinks Mossman is mine, which is even more funny.
I know, because I'm lazy. I get
And
it.
I keep sending people over. I'm like, there's like 3 other videos. It's not mine. I just asked for exclusive rights to Mossman commercials.
Yeah. Well, Lawrence, you survived. You did a great job. Ed, it is your turn in the hot seat. Are you ready?
Oh, bring it on.
If you were in Star Wars, what color would your lightsaber be?
Neon pink.
Correct. In the movie The Karate Kid, is Daniel-san the bad guy?
Absolutely.
Correct. What's a better scale, 1/12 or 1/18?
1/6.
Correct. Ask me if I like Fred Durst.
Do you like Fred Durst?
Yeah, correct. If you were a G.I. Joe, what would your call sign be?
Motherfucker.
Correct. What's the best place to play with toys?
At the crick.
Correct. Favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Shredder.
Correct. Give me your best Moss Man.
I gotta go get me some barbecue Pringle chips. We were all out. The Skeletor said, "Yeah, I could use the credit card, and we could go on to store and buy some action figures." Oh yeah.
Correct. There it is, folks. That was your lightning round. All right, we can get everybody back.
Well
I was
done.
sweating, man.
Everybody's back.
Well done.
Sweating.
Oops, I gotta.
We
Really?
saved the world, punk. We saved the world.
Hey, we did our best.
You guys looked good out there. 110%.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
At least 10%. Anyway.
Just 10%. What would our president say right now to that lightning round?
It's a tremendous effort. All parties involved. Truly terrific. Tremendous efforts all around.
I love it. I just need to have you like do a bunch of one-liners so I can make it like my ringtone.
So you just plug
alarm.
them in life. You just play one.
Exactly.
Use a turn signal for fuck's sake. Just throw it in there. Just throw it in the day.
I need that on my car horn right now. You know how to use a stop sign and use a turn signal.
You're deported. I don't like your import. Get out.
How did we miss this at Joefest? Like,
I
we
gave
sat there
you
for
the-
hours
the-
talking. I don't think we once got a President
You
Trump
didn't.
impression.
You didn't.
We
No,
we weren't
I
worthy
gave you
of the
level
Trump.
1 access.
I didn't hear any either at DFW. We did hear some, what was it, Crocodile Dundee or something like that.
You heard a lot of Harry Carey. You
Okay.
were in the lobby that one night.
Hmm.
Hours of Harry Carey.
I love Harry Carey.
All right, fellas. So look, we're gonna ease into this, right? We're just talking about your overall con experience, just throughout the weekend. So we'll just go across the screen here, and Ed, we'll start with you. You were at Joefest.
Yes, sir.
So, and like I said, we'll go into more details about Joefest here in a little bit, but just overall highs, lows. What was your overall con experience that weekend?
Oh man, this year's Joe Fest was even better than last year. I ended up sharing a hotel room with Punk and Tony's Figs, which was a trip and a half. Did a lot of drinking and got to meet a lot of people. And the only low I would have to say is that it ended too soon. And that me and Punk went to bed at like 3:30 on Monday morning and woke up at 8 o'clock to drive 12 hours, 3 hours
Together?
No, not together.
Okay.
Shit, no.
Just clarifying.
No. I do think some of the best we can't talk about.
Yeah. It's better left in the back room.
Okay.
Awesome. Well Punk, what do you got besides what you can't talk about?
Honestly, I don't think there was any lows. I mean, just like last year, just meeting everyone, hanging out, meeting Mikey, and I had no idea who Mikey was, other than I thought that he really didn't really care for me that much. And I mean, I didn't lose any sleep over it. Obviously, I was up to 3 o'clock in the morning, but no, we hung out and we talked a lot. But then getting to re-meet everyone that I met the year before, and obviously some of the people we met at PowerCon, and then all the new people that we got to meet and hang out with. There was no lull, no low at all. Just a wonderful time all around.
Awesome. Now, Mikey, you got stuck kind of working both of these weekends. So you were on that grind. So I don't know. What was your experience like?
I mean, even though it was work like, those shows are really not work. Like that was still my vacation, and it still felt like vacation because I didn't dread or hate an ounce of it. Like it was a blast. Both shows. I mean, even the 12 and 13-hour car rides to Augusta, from Augusta to Texas to back home. None of that was even bad. Like it was just overall just a great time.
Nice.
Something that's really cool too is, you got to spend time with your dad doing that stuff too, which is kind of nice that you incorporate that.
That's for sure.
Are you? I'm just curious, like, because you're the only one here that went to both of them. Like, what was the difference, like, in the vibe and stuff like that?
I mean, vibes are pretty much the same. I think cons for us are like, it's less about what you're finding and more about like the experiences that you get. So while they were two completely different environments, what I took away was still the same. It was still, several layers of friends. Like Joefest has always been more my dad's show because it's the guys that like grew up doing forums and that kind of stuff. And this year I got to reach out and make that a little bit more my own, get to hang out with you guys and kind of develop in my own relationships that I don't share with my dad, obviously, right now. But whereas DFW has always been that for me. Like it's always been people that I know as well as people that my dad knows. So it's
a question. Between the two shows, which one had more CUNTs said? In the
I don't think that's in question. Yeah, that was Joefest for sure. I mean, when it's past midnight and you're around a 3-foot table with like 3 or 4 Aussies, I think
we had 2 Aussies, an English guy, and an Irish dude.
That's there we go. Even better.
Even worse.
It's on the surface, but we tend to be very polite down here. That's kind of, that word doesn't come out too much down here.
But see, that's the whole thing. For Aussies, see you next Tuesday is just like us saying dude.
Right. I love it, man.
Nothing. But oh my gosh. Let's just say we took it to I would say I'm done with my quota, and I didn't even say it nearly as much as some of the other guys for the whole year. I'm done.
Well, Shark Eyes got to training Tony on the proper usage of it and what descriptive word comes before that. And of course, Tony's figs just ran with it, and it was.
I'm pretty sure you could get it all as a tax write-off, just educational purpose.
Yes. A workshop, even.
Definitely.
That'll be the next year's workshop at Joefest. We'll have the next Tuesday workshop.
Yeah, maybe they should try it so they can come every single year. It's their see you next Tuesday workshop.
Yeah, I like it. Let's pitch it.
Love it. So, Radnam, you went to DFW. This was your second year at DFW, right?
Correct.
And you were out there also kind of on that grind of networking, promoting, world building.
A bit, it was more just hanging out and meeting people, but there was definitely a lot of networking with the little giveaway. The console giveaway was a great icebreaker to talk to a lot of people. But last year I just went for one day, and it was I didn't really know what I was going to do. I didn't really have a plan. I just kind of walked around and felt a little awkward and then left. But this year I took the weekend off, spent a lot of time there, talked to so many people. And going multiple days, it's like you see the same people at 3 different bars or something. You're meeting them in different occasions. The bonds grow a little stronger over time. It's a little less awkward. Really good. Lots of cool stuff going on. I mean, Mikey, they were doing workshops and stuff out there at DFW. I didn't attend them. I meant to go to one, but I was a little tired that day, so I got up a little bit later. It was cool. It was a really good vibe.
How far do you live from DFW?
I'm so close. It's crazy. I don't know, like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. For me, the best thing though was meeting people meeting everyone, but also talking to all the people. Like honestly, Mikey's dad, not Mikey, but Mikey's dad, but all the people that really had like a lot of knowledge about how to do different things, creative wise. Designing Mark II designs was really interesting to talk to.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, super.
Mark. Yeah.
When we were sitting around the table with Mikey, we kept asking him where his dad was because that's who we really wanted at the table. But Mikey had already locked him in the hotel for the night.
I'm
He
convinced
wasn't
Mikey,
ready to grant level 1 access. He
Yeah.
was like, you find out what if it's worth it.
Right.
Mikey
Like,
was a total cunt about
Yeah.
seeing his dad. Like, good lord, dude.
I'm convinced he's secretly a mad scientist, so he probably had something he had to go cook up.
That's relatively accurate.
So, Lawrence, I had texted you and I said, man, this is like the perfect night for you to start blackmailing people because you were going to be surrounded by drunks. You're like the only sober person there.
Pretty much.
And you're out partying until 3 a.m. with fucking Ed and what you said, Shark Eyes, and I don't even know who else. You didn't get any dirt on them? Nothing?
See,
No
the prob-
videos, no recordings?
The problem is, and Ed can attest to this, they could blackmail me as much as I blackmail them, and I don't have an excuse that I was drunk. So I can't even use that because some of the stuff that I may have said or may not have said could go down as pretty awful.
Valid.
And I have no excuse other than I'm just a pure asshole. But nobody wants to believe me. Like, I mean, I tell you guys all the time. Like, no one wants to believe me, though. So
I can't believe you would say anything awful, Lawrence. That's
no.
very
Shocking.
out of character.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Very out of character. Unacceptable. Awesome. Well, we're gonna break these down in more detail. Anybody else have any other final notes they want to talk about? Just the weekend in general before we move on to the chat.
All I can say is I truly do believe, like, if you are a toy collector, and you don't have to be a complete, like, you don't have to be a Joe fan. If you're just a collector, and I can't speak for other conventions, I can speak for Joefest. Like, if you stay at the hotel and you go in Thursday, I mean, I guess you could go in Friday and stay till Monday morning. But if you go in Thursday and you stay till Monday morning, you don't have to leave the hotel ever, and you end up making so many good friends, so many wonderful memories and great connections because there's 2 different floors, and if you're not about being as rowdy as the guys on the lower level, go upstairs and hang out with those guys. They tend to be a little bit more mellow, but all good guys. And again, it's
the shows are, Joe centric, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff there that isn't Joe. So I mean, there's vintage toys, there's new stuff, there's all sorts of stuff that's
it's just never having to leave, and just it's literally just you've walked off of work and you're going to hang out with your friends, and you never have to leave. You don't have to get in your car. You don't have to go anywhere. Hotels there, they have a restaurant, they have food. You're good to go. You're going to have so many memories as long as you don't lock yourself up in your room.
Or you don't drink so much that you don't remember anything.
or find a gummy. Yes.
Ken still says he had a great time, though I don't know how he remembers any of it.
He wrote it down probably.
Himself.
He wrote it down.
Yeah.
There's video proof of his.
Just read his diary like, oh, well, I had a good time. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a video. He's like, you remember you had a great time. Yeah. It's his drool.
Top of the stairs. Like, man, you gotta lean on something, man. Don't stand at the top of the stairs.
Oh, hey, the only person that needed to lean on somebody was Sergeant Slaughter.
That's right.
Somebody bigger than what he had to lean on, from what I heard.
Yes, he needed someone much bigger. All right, his manager needs to hire an assistant to lug him around.
The mental image of Paul Fireman carrying Sergeant Slaughter to his bed was pretty good for me. I don't know about y'all, but that was this little guy, just everything he can handle. Sergeant's like, that's right, perfect. He drops him on the table on the bed there, tucks him in.
Yeah, he was like a woman driving.
Oh my god! Like that. I would have loved to see a video of that.
How did we not? How did no one get a video of that? Like, I'm surprised no one took the camera out to record that. I mean, I watched him. Right, he brushed up against me leaving the bar when he was drunk, and then we all watched him. And I swear, everyone saw it. So it was nuts, man.
You seem like you took quite a few pictures and stuff there, Larry.
That's I'm not one to take pictures. Like when I go skateboarding with my friends, I don't.
Yeah.
But for some odd reason, Joefest, that's just one of those places where it's cons, I think, in general, just because you're like never. I don't know. That's how I remember all the stuff, and I keep that memory. That's why, like, when I did all the pictures, I kind of felt bad because, like, I'm in all of them, but why am I taking pictures of other people? Like,
really, Larry only took pictures of people that recognized him just so he could remember how many people recognized him. That's what it was.
I think the count's up to like 150.
That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Whoa.
That's all it was.
Yeah, I didn't take any pictures. I mean, like a couple. Mostly.
Larry took pictures of people he don't even remember. He's like, "Who was this guy? I don't remember this guy's name."
If I went up to someone and said, "Hey, can I take a picture?" and they said, "Who are you?" I'd say, "Don't worry about it." I'd walk away.
At one point, Ted sends me a message and he's like, "You need to be shilling your body more in these pictures, my friend. I'm not seeing anything." And I'm like,
"Yeah, I got Lawrence popping up constantly, and then the next weekend, lots of Chad." And I was like, "Where the fuck is Radnam at? I'm seeing all these DFW pictures. Where's Radnam? I think I saw you in like one or two, maybe. You be out there more, out there shaking that ass."
I'm not much of a pictures guy unless it's of objects. We won't mention which ones. No. Whoa.
No, that's how people know who you are, and they know to respect you because you were in somebody else's picture.
There you go.
See, Lawrence,
my marketing
over a ton of people.
Yeah, my marketing skills are so great that Ted has to make a logo for me every single time we do this show. I was talking to him. It's funny. They just get jankier and jankier if you saw the
Yeah. I did not try hard.
I mean, how many years have I been doing this now? Still no logo. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. It was because I had everybody else's saved, and I guess I should have technically used Ed's solo one instead of the ToyLeet one, but ToyLeet's on the rise. We threw that up there. But then I was like, I don't have anything for fucking random. Now I gotta fucking make one. I had to fucking make one real quick.
My Instagram has the same picture of Link fighting Kirito from like 2015 or something like that. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. It's fine. One day we'll get you one. I didn't even save this one that I used. I should have saved it because I know I'm gonna have to use it again someday. So that's why they keep getting worse, because I never save them. I'm just like, hey, I'll get around to it. Never does. Never does.
We'll see.
Lawrence's favorite picture was the one he took with Seth Green, though, because it was the only person there that was over 10 that was taller than him.
Yeah,
shorter than him.
Considerably taller too. That's I just want to reiterate that. Considerably taller I was. And so his Wikipedia that says he's 5'4" is so full of shit.
He had a hell of a time at the Marauders booth. It was like,
tell me about it.
You have his assistant carry a stool around with him so he can step up and look on the tables.
Yeah, when I got done with talking like Skeletron, my calves were all burning from being on my tiptoes and everything.
Wow.
Well, Aaron, I know there's the chat's been hot, but there's not a lot starred. But let's go through what's currently in there. Mostly a lot of in talking right now, but anything relevant?
Our good friend Legend Series is here. Welcome, sir. Robert's Infinite Realm says, Mikey, I'd kill to have that kind of time either with my dad now. Feel lucky to have that.
I don't take it for granted, Robert. Trust me.
Yeah. You don't realize it until it's too late, So enjoy those times. Lunchbox, what's going on, man? Action figure. What's up, man?
What up, Papa?
someone said they got footage, but love Sarge too much to air it, I say fuck that. I'd air that shit.
Gotta,
We'd be at 1,000. We have 1,000 subscribers by that time.
let's have it. Bring it up.
I don't think he has it. We want proof. I want to see it posted tonight at midnight. And then we got Suka. So man.
So
And then we got Gun Bunny Customs. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping in. That was a very short chat break.
Awesome. Yeah, they're popping. They're just talking to each other, which I like. Cool. So we're gonna go specifically into Joefest right now. So 3 of you were at Joefest. Just tell me your Joefest story. Like, doesn't have to be an hour or anything. But Ed, again, we'll start with you, man. What were the highlights of your weekend? What did you do? What did you buy? What did you see? What was your favorite fucking part?
So probably the best part for me, of course, was going to the Operation Monster Force Fresh Monkey Fiction panel, which has a lot of cool stuff coming out soon. Got to talk to Bill and about all the different things that they got coming up and stuff like that. So that was really fun. And of course, the cool thing about going to Joefest is you get to talk to the actual creators. Punk and I talked to Carson, and we talked to is it Ben at Skeletron, Larry? I forgot his name. Yeah, Ben, and then Steve and Ken at Delta 17, and
well, I wouldn't call talking to Ken a highlight.
Well,
it was a light.
It was a light, yeah. It was a very dim light, kind of wavy, a little blurry.
Lightweight, perhaps.
Lightweight, yes. But yeah, really talking to like all the creators and just kind of getting what they're, what they were thinking about when they were doing stuff, like, what they were creating, things like that. Is just it's a great thing to experience. It's not like the old days where if you try talking to some of the bigger companies like Hasbro or Mattel, they're not going to give you any kind of trade secrets or anything like that, so, and they're not available really to talk to anyway. So, and then of course there was just, all sorts of cool toys. I mean, we saw a flag in the box that was what, $27K, Punk,
something like that, right next to a Defiant, encased in the box. That was, I think, roughly the same price.
Yeah, just seeing things like that. And of course you always see the things, just like when we were at PowerCon, you're walking around, you see a table and you're like, holy shit, I remember those things. And just lots of good memories. I didn't buy anything except for the Fresh Monkey Fiction eraser, and I picked up a Savage Crucible because my partner on the ToyLeet network is a Savage Crucible fanatic, so I figured I better try one. And of course, I was hoping to get one before he got his Wave 2 in, but I sent him a picture of it. He's like, "Yeah, I got that yesterday." I was like, "Shut the hell up, dude."
But did he open it?
Probably not.
I'm pretty sure he still has boxes that are sitting somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure.
100%.
Cool. Lawrence, what about you?
I can say the best thing is, honest to God, like the first thing is, I picked the 2 best people to room with. Like, I could not have picked 2 better people that have my sense of humor. Where
my heart.
Like, I knew Ed, and I also knew Tony. Tony and Ed didn't know each other nearly as well. I believe Ed said that, he talked to Tony and was like, I mean, I knew I liked you, but like, I didn't realize like how compatible they were. I had to leave the room sometimes to let them do their thing, but that's what the sock is for, man. So I was like, cool. No, honestly, talking with
you're
everybody,
the only one that took 7 hours in the shower in the morning because you got to get that.
I have to shave my head, and it takes long. People don't realize how long it actually does take to shave the head. No, it's same thing. Just all the people you get to meet, the Operation. Well, I get Fresh Monkey Fiction, Big Bad Workshop, their whole display, everything that they showed off, all the stuff that's going to be coming, hopefully within the next 5 years. Skeletron with like seeing their 6-inch figures. I was like, all right. I went and ordered more of that stuff because, good Lord, this stuff looks absolutely amazing. But a lot of new people. Clint Jorgensen, I met him. Like, he came searching me out. To be honest, all the people that knew who I was, that stopped me, and drove Ed absolutely nuts.
Those were the only ones worth talking to, obviously.
The only one.
Clearly.
So did you have lots of fanboys? Lots of dudes just coming up to you? Nobody that talks shit came up to you, right? None of those people that are like, I see you at a con. It's on site.
No, he
No,
roomed
one
with
of
those
these were
guys.
Yeah.
Nope.
Also, he already said he met me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one hit me with their whip or anything. No, I don't know. I mean, Ed, would you say a lot of people knew who I was? I'll let you answer that.
Correct.
I played the fifth.
Correct.
1, 2, 5.
Well, again, like it's one of those things. I mean, I've done a lot on YouTube, and a lot of people know who I am, and there's a lot of people that just want to sit there and talk with me for 5 minutes. I'm nothing special, obviously. Ed will tell you.
In Larry's
I'm just-
defense, no one asked him anything like intelligent questions or anything like that. They weren't
No,
seeking the answers to life or anything, you know. They were
God,
just
I hope
like,
not. But no, I do like it. I mean, again, you don't build yourself up on YouTube and not hope that some people notice you and come over and talk to you. It's a great starting point to have people come over and talk to you. And I'd rather spend 5 minutes with somebody who's never going to tell the story that they met me, rather than
well, let's
brush
tell
them
the
off for
story
10
about
seconds.
GI Bro. Let's tell the story about GI Bro. Tell the story, Punk.
All right, so we were walking, and GI Bro, Rich was behind me, and I think Tony was right behind him. And there was like 6 people trying to take a picture, and it was like they were against the booth, so I kind of stopped and let the person take the picture. Guy takes the picture, and Rich, GI Bro, he says, "See, everyone doesn't know you." And I swear to God, as that last word came out of his mouth, guy goes, "Hey, you're a punk with toys." I looked over at Rich and I go, and he's like, "I can't believe that." I go, "I wish you had that on video." And it was the casual collector, and he recognized me, and he came over and talked, and Rich was just like, so, because again, that last word came out of his mouth, and as it ended, the casual collector was like, "Hey, you're a punk with toys," and I was like, "Oh man." So, but it's enjoyable, man. I mean, you do this to, I put my face on camera for a reason. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could lie about
how
it.
many autographs did you sign?
Only one.
Only one. How
Only one
was it
person
on a
willing
bra?
to pay. Only one person was willing to pay the $30. So
I thought it was a cop and he had a citation.
It
was when he signed into the hotel.
There was just one person that wanted me to sign their leather neck, and I signed it for him. So
Cute. That's cute. Oh.
Well, you did have one other signature in Lunchbox's book, but
oh yeah, but okay, yeah. So not Lunchbox, War Chest.
War Chest, yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
was thinking Lunchbox Killer because I just read his check.
Scotty.
But that was just everyone signing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Stanley, I don't know if you have Stanley. He wanted me to sign his leather neck. So I signed it for him, and it made it. Ed, would you say? I think it made his day. So
Oh yeah,
happy to do it for him.
Stanley had the best time ever.
Yes, he did. And Stanley was. Stanley was like fucking Michael Myers, dude. That guy just showed up behind you. Like all of a sudden he's behind you, and you're like, "Holy shit!
He was pretty
Where'd you
sneaky.
come from, Stanley?"
True.
Yeah, it was crazy, but good for him.
Awesome.
But but Triple D, like people weren't asking for the autographs; they were just asking for signatures of everyone that they were friends with. And I think that I did the same thing with my book from last year. Like I thought it was really cool just to have like a book of like pictures from last year. I had people sign that were there, and then people did the same thing for this year. So I think that's actually pretty cool. It's not really an autograph, I don't think. Again, I don't know why anyone would really want my autograph. It's not worth anything.
Yet.
Oh,
Poor Stanley's leatherneck is worth negative $10.
It's
now.
worth less now. Sorry, Stanley.
Whoops. Sorry about that.
So, Mikey, we'll move on to you again. You were working a booth a majority of the weekend, but what was your trip like? What'd you buy? What'd you see? What'd you do?
I honestly I bought quite a bit at Joefest that I was not intending on. The Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff, I knew I was going to get the eraser figure, and that was my first time that I actually got to meet Bill in person, despite having done work for him for a couple of years now. So that was really cool. We got to talk about some future projects, which was always awesome. That figure's freaking sweet.
I like this one more than the purple one. It fits better.
Yeah, I don't like the
pictures.
purple.
I like the
Purple is
purple,
not-
but I think this one just fits better like in pictures.
It does. Definitely does.
It makes more
So
sense.
yeah, I got that. I got there was a couple of booths that had really awesome Action Force stuff, like OG Action Force. And I was able to get a paratrooper on card. The card is terrible, but it's my favorite character out of that line, so I was pretty excited about that. I bought a lot of comics, an unusual amount of comics for me. But yeah, I was able to sell my hyena, and that made that a little less of an impact.
Was that your custom Hith?
Mm-hmm.
You sold
Yeah,
that,
the right
huh?
one. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I give you
Thank
that looked really good.
you.
Is that the one you felt kind of emotionally attached to?
Certainly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of work on that one.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Yeah.
So last year, Scuba Pete was there in a pool with the Punk.
Flag.
Help me out here. The flag,
Flag.
yes. And then there was like a paper airplane contest going on with that. Was Scuba Pete there, and did that tradition continue?
Scuba didn't show up till Saturday this year and only stayed Saturday and Sunday, and he left early on Sunday. So no, that did not happen this year because he usually does that Friday before the show starts. So
I thought it was Thursday.
or maybe it was Thursday. But either way, yeah, last year
Yeah.
Wilhelm Toy and Hobby brought some foam airplanes from the Dollar General down the road, and then they were landing those onto the flag. But yeah, Scuba didn't show up till Saturday this year because I think he said he had something going on with his daughter or something. I can't remember what he said was his reason, but there's family obligations.
It's got to be heartbreaking. Mikey, what was your nightlife like? Who were you partying with? Who did you want to see the most? And then you got stuck with Punk.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I'm
it's
sorry.
life's all about compromise. You know what I mean? Like, there's what you want, what you can obtain, and what you do obtain. You know what I mean? So I think with the compromises I made, I still had a really good time. And honestly, I think most of my nights were pretty early to bed, except for the very late lobby night.
Yeah, you weren't really out there that. Except for Sunday.
Yeah, that was the time I was like, all right, not this time. We're going like we used to.
Yeah.
Because in years past, that's like every night. It was like 2 a.m. that I'd finally go to bed. This year, I changed it up. I acted like a professional idiot.
That was stupid.
I know, really dumb.
And then you had to slum in the three-man table with 8 of us around it. That's what happens when you wait till the last night, Mikey. You get the
Yeah, but you guys got that free beer.
It's true.
Somebody drank that, I think.
So was
Somebody did.
Saturday was the big late night, right? Saturday was like the final night, or
No,
was
Sunday.
it still Sunday? Was it Sunday?
It was
Yeah.
Sunday for us because all of
Yeah.
us were leaving Monday, so we had the extra day. Usually Saturday night is like the barn burner of the weekend.
This Sunday compared to last year, it was way more busy. And even like the Saturday and the Friday night that we were there were people upstairs later than the year before. So, I mean, I was going to bed at 3. We were going back up at 2:33. There were still more than enough
Yeah,
people
there
down
was.
there.
Awesome.
Yeah, when we were going up to bed at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, the lobby was getting cleared out, but upstairs was still pretty well packed.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on to DFW stuff, do you guys have any closing thoughts on Joefest?
Yeah, if you can make it to Joefest or DFW, I would try to make it to one of them. It's a great place to just hang out, meet fellow collectors, you know, get to see some new stuff coming out, learn about different things, you know. It's just a great time to, and you don't have to wander the show all the day, right? Because, I mean, you just go up to, if that's the nice part about having the hotel room, you just go up to your room if you get bored or tired or whatever, and go back down and enjoy the show later.
If you go to Joefest, stay at the hotel.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Book it as soon as possible. I can't reiterate that anymore. Like, stay at the hotel because you can go up there, take a nap, drop your shit off if you need be.
Yeah.
Again, it's just, yeah, that's, and I'll say it again. You don't need to spend any money at Joefest. Right, Ed?
Not at all. I
That's
spent
fun.
$75 on action figures at Joefest.
I spent more.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
On Friday, you spent more, and then you bought more Saturday and more Sunday.
You're absolutely correct. And I don't regret any of it.
I will say next year is going to be weird without Roma. That is going to feel really, really strange without that booth.
Are they not going, or
this was the last one for Roma. This was
okay.
This was it. I mean, I'm sure Sarah and Kenny and those like Ryan will be there.
Yeah,
not that booth.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sad 'cause they do shows up here, and when we heard the news, like it was devastating. 'Cause they're great guys. We love them. I always talk to them, and like nobody wants to lose somebody, and especially that it was such an impact in the toy world.
For sure, yeah, absolutely. So have you guys seen the figure that Skeletron's doing for him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it on.
That's
I think
awesome.
it was on Instagram. Or
So excited.
yeah, he definitely deserves it, man.
Thursday, I'm going to have Chris Scott on Figure It Out, and we want to talk. We want to talk about that because I think that's just an awesome project.
Can I mention something in the chat really quick? Not Rachel Salinas right there is telling Matthew Matson, our moderator, who we have to have Carson fill in our picture, saying road trip Matthew. He's already offering. So Matthew, you have no excuse.
What you gonna do now?
Yeah.
What you gonna do now, man?
I don't want to. You're a doctor. You're the smartest person in this chat. You know how I know? You tell us.
That's right.
You can figure out a way to save up the money to go on a vacation.
Daily, he tells us.
Daily. In our mods chat, it's like all the time. He wakes up in the morning. I'm smarter than you guys. It's kind of crazy.
He told me that several times while we were at DFW. Not that he was smarter than me, but you specifically, Larry.
Yeah. Well, you should hear what he says about you.
Matthew, they are. They were using the cons to kind of get through some of the inventory that they had. But yeah, they are. I don't know exactly if they are right now, but I know if it's not now, it's coming soon.
All right. Cool. Well, let's talk about DFW. Mikey, I'll let your voice take a break. Radnam, what do you let's talk about DFW. You didn't have to travel far.
I did
You got
not
to go there, hand out stuff, not be in people's pictures. Tell us about your time.
I did spend a lot of time hanging out with Matthew Matheson, actually. And since, as you know, and most people watching know, I know not that much about toy collecting. I am not a toy collector. So whenever I have a question about anything, I have the walking encyclopedia, Matthew, not too far. So he was very helpful with all that stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff there, obviously. Meeting all the people on Friday night, like before the show, kind of before the floor opened, was really cool. Kind of recognizing people, recognizing each other.
Did a lot of people recognize you, Radnam?
You know, I don't know, not so much. I would say there was a fair amount, but it was kind of mutual most of the time. I don't really show my face in most of the stuff that I've done. You know, it's sometimes, but it's cool. You know, you already have common ground. You already kind of know each other. Handing out the little consoles was obviously cool. And, you know, I put that in my story, my Instagram story. It said, come up to me and say Zanzibar, and I will give you a console. And so I got a couple of those. People just kind of walked up like Zanzibar. And that was kind of cool. I also started getting Instagram messages from people that were not even at the freaking con, like Zanzibar, Zanzibar, Zanzibar. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works. I think Fat Red was responsible for about 50% of that, as he just says.
Still going.
Still going.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's still trying to get that console.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. It was 3 days. It's kind of hard. Like, we could talk for the next 5 hours and not cover everything that happened. Swap meet was really cool. I did enjoy that. I don't know if you guys had one at, you did, Joefest?
Yeah, they had
They have it
every night.
Yeah.
Nice.
After
Yeah.
hours is always no matter what day it is at Joefest, is a swap meet every night.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fairly introverted, so I went in a corner. It was like a dark corner. The bar wasn't fully lit at this time of night, so I kind of felt like I was in that bar in Star Wars. You know, I'm all the way in the corner. No one's around. I set up my little thing, and Ryan walks by, Laser Pants, and he's like, "Hey, man." He's like, "Hey, what do you got?" And I didn't even have my stuff out of my bag yet, and I'm just like, "Yo, I got this box right here, man." I just pull it out, open it up, and he was like, "How much? I want that." And I was like, "Sweet." And that sold immediately. And then I had a lot of people come and talk. I had the catwalk playset set up on the table. People came and were giving me suggestions and stuff. And man, there's just a lot.
How many people say you should make it for 1/12 scale?
I had some people asking for 1/12, but there was a lot of several different people mentioned lighting. There was suggestions on different things. One funny story is that as soon as I walk in the door, I see Chad on Friday, and I put together, the tower. I put together maybe 15 of these things. Never had any problems with it. And I'm standing there talking to Chad and this other guy, and because I'm blind as a bat, right? So if I'm not right up on something, I can't see it. And I'm trying to put this together while talking to him, and I break the peg right off the bottom of the tower. And I haven't broken any of them, but yeah, I felt. And Chad was so nice. He was like, "Dude, I'll buy that one." I'm like, "No, dude, I'm not going to sell you the broken one." But yeah, man.
Wait, I thought that was a message you sent me. Hey, I got this broken one. You want to buy it from me?
He wouldn't sell Chad the broken.
Chad.
Oh,
Right.
okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Different rules.
Yeah. Totally different. I don't know, man. There was a lot. I mean, when I met Quentin, that was hilarious because we didn't recognize each other and we're just sitting down, we're talking. And then he was like, "Dude, no way that's you." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I know you." And had a whole nice conversation there. Real cool guy. We talked for I don't know, quite a while. Yeah. Like I said, there was just so many people. I can't even start naming people off because there's 50, 60 people easily that I spent a fair amount of time talking to.
Awesome. What about the panels? So you did message me that you were at a panel, and then it kind of sounded like you were giving up on panels moving forward the rest of the weekend. But
no, I went to there was a toy photography panel, and there was some good information in that. They had some technical difficulties getting the screen to work, and the room was very long, and eyesight not so great. So. But there was good information in there for sure. And then there was a diorama panel or workshop. And that was pretty interesting to me because this guy was using techniques that are kind of like not as popular anymore with like the action figure diorama stuff, but it was, like 1/6 scale, old school G.I. Joe kind of. He was using white styrofoam and a lot of the goopy stuff like Sculptamold and plaster, but he was really good at it. And some interesting ideas there for sure. Valaverse panel was very energetic and talked about lots of cool stuff there. It was packed. It kind of got hot in there, actually. There were so many people in that room. What was the other one I watched? I did go to a couple of the other ones with the like some of the old school G.I. Joe guys, and they were interesting, but I'm just not. Yeah, if we're not talking about building something or something new, I'm like, all right, it's cool for about 15 minutes. And yeah.
You had mentioned joining a diorama contest. Did you do that?
I put my stuff in and I never checked to see where I ranked, but I don't think I won anything, if that's what you're saying. I don't know. I figured someone would have told me. I just kind of left. I also forgot my figures at home. There was supposed to be a Cobra Commander sitting in there. And I don't know. A lot of people were taking pictures. People walked up to me and asked me about it.
You were at Joefest and you couldn't find a figure to put in there?
I wasn't at Joefest. Ted and Aaron were.
DFW?
Yeah.
Aaron and I were both.
Right. Yeah, I could have. I just didn't really care.
I
brought it more just so people that I knew could go look at it and see that the dang thing was sitting there, and that worked pretty well. And Mikey had a really cool tumbler, General Lee tumbler, custom painted down there too.
I saw that.
Yeah,
that was cool.
This year was way cooler than last year with the dioramas though, because last year they had it. It was like in a hallway off of where all the tables were. This year it had
the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, your table was right there. Now that I think about it.
Right in front of the toilet.
That's somewhat convenient and disturbing. This year they had a whole private room. It was downstairs, separate, and it was a nice place to kind of chill out. Also, if you wanted to like escape people for a little bit. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Mikey, how did this differ from your Joefest experience? Because I don't know, it sounds like DFW had more in the way of like panels and activities than Joefest did. Like, were you able to break away and get out and do anything?
So I didn't do any of the. I didn't attend any panels. Since DFW, I actually did pay to be there. I had a booth. It was the first legitimate booth that Dad and I have had our couple of Kooks brand on. So it was kind of a big deal for us to have it on our own. So I stuck with the booth for the most part. Now we had a panel ourselves, so that was also our first panel that we've held. Just kind of giving everybody an introduction into what we're doing, what we're offering, and what we want to do. And that came later in the day from a class that we had on building a 1/12 action figure with a kit that my dad had designed and printed, and had a significant amount of printer issues while we were down there, because he'd been printing all the way leading up to Joefest. We drove to Joefest, and then we had my mom and grandma take the 3D printer and meet us in Texas, where he continued to print for another 3 days leading up to the show. So it was a lot of down to the last minute, down to the wire, and 3D printers don't really care about your timeline.
Not at all. And I thought it was really cool the way you got. I didn't expect you to have the 3D printer in the room. I go in there and I almost got high off the resin fumes, I think, but
for sure.
Yeah, it was neat that you guys had that set up. And like I said, your dad was just doing like the mad scientist thing in the back there, kind of doing that. And it's really cool.
Yeah, so that was the class we had with the former G.I. Joe Hasbro designers. So that was really cool for us to be a part of that. We were a sponsor for that class, so getting to work like really close with the Hasbro design team was really cool. But it was a big learning curve for us. I think that was the major difference. Is we were a very active part of DFW Joe Show.
So, what does being a sponsor entail doing?
Typically, the sponsor hosts one of the guests.
Okay.
So we essentially paid the plane ticket for Dave Kunitz to be a part of it.
Okay.
So he got to do his regular stuff. He got to have a space and all that, but we were his sponsor.
Okay.
And was your dad printing on the 3D resin printer in your hotel room?
No, it was downstairs. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I don't think the hotel would have been okay with that.
I don't think so either. But
I think they were
say that might be why you
with
enjoyed DFW so much.
No, he was so as long as we were in Texas, so we were in Texas I think for 5 or 6 days total. He would come to the room, he would design and sculpt and stuff, and he'd load it onto a jump drive, go downstairs, put it onto the printer, come back upstairs, load another one, design, do all that stuff, and he was getting maybe 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep that whole time. So like the fact that he was even still standing at the end of it was a testament of will. I was like Hal Jordan level willpower.
Yeah, that show, when I walked in there on Saturday, and I wasn't in the workshop, but I was hanging out in the back of the room with Mikey and Matthew and a bunch of people. That guy Gray, who was really cool. But you guys were cutting up too, doing the whole. Matthew just mentioned it, the whole Australian. Like, look at him go! Yeah. You see him in his natural habitat, and he started that about your dad. And this guy, like, it was surreal because I think the resin fumes and just. I don't know, something about it was weird. But every time this guy was doing that Australian thing and the bit was almost dead and it felt totally awkward, sort of. And Mikey you'd think Mikey was like thinking, yeah, this needs to end. He would turn around and be like, yeah, there he is. Look at him go. And just revive the whole thing again. And it was good timing, but it was, I don't know, it was fun. It was an interesting one, though.
So there was an Australian bit?
Yeah, a whole bit.
So that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense.
I had gotten training the weekend before.
All right. So that's cool. So DFW is the copycat, is what you're saying.
DFW was the culmination. Oh, culmination.
We had the real Australians.
Yeah, you were like training ground.
You're a test audience.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, DFW sounds like it was a blast. Aaron and I are sad that we missed it.
I thought you were at both shows, Ted.
Yeah, we were both there.
No, you don't have to. You are allowed to come. You don't have to come as a vendor.
That makes it.
You can leave the state of Ohio.
You would have to drive down to 75 then. Punk.
We're
know where that is.
Yeah.
One does not simply leave the state of Ohio.
Exactly. Exactly. There's papers we have to sign, just a whole ordeal. So I guess Mikey went to both, but for the rest of you, would you guys consider doing both? Like, I understand that's a cost, but if you could afford to do both, would you do Joefest and DFW, or is that too much?
If I could afford both, now that they're going to be a month apart, yeah, I would do both.
I don't really have any interest. Again, Joefest, for what it is, it's amazing. And now I'm going to Assembly Required in November, but that's a big gap. To do one and go to the other one, a month later, I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, I have not heard enough I haven't seen enough, in my opinion, for DFW to make me fly out to Dallas and go there for what I like to experience is all that I'm saying. So, to me, it doesn't interest me.
But there's more people that can come up to you and be like, "Oh, are you a punk with toys? Can I get my picture taken with you?"
That's true.
What's
There's
not
probably
to
a lot
love?
more people there that would also bring the Billy Club. Be like, oh, you're a punk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Try not to mention that part.
Fair.
I'm not afraid to mention that part.
That's very true.
No,
Radnom, what
again,
about?
But wait a minute,
What
I just want to say, because I see Woody saying like, way to keep it open. Look, listen, from what I've heard and from my experience is I can go to any local show here and I'm not interested in voice actors or the people that made the toy. Like that doesn't interest me. And that's what DFW is really about. I like being centralized in one spot. Again, if Joefest was to move and we weren't at a hotel where they just let us do whatever we want, I don't think that it would be as much fun. I think it would take away from the whole atmosphere and the experience of what Joefest
Yeah,
is.
Joefest is definitely a lot about the, getting to hang out with people and talk
Yeah.
to people. And
And that's all that I'm saying. I'm not trying to say it's a bad show or anything. I know that's what people want to make it, but that's not what I'm looking at.
Just two different shows.
yeah,
Yes.
Different shows that exist in the same world, and that's the end of it. Man, they're
Yep.
just two
Exactly.
Okay. Radnom, what about you? Would you do both?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really like, I don't travel. I would need someone to like come house sit mom. It would be a lot to do to get me to go. But yeah, I'd be down for anything pretty much. If money
Yeah.
wasn't an issue.
I think I would.
I don't think I'd
would?
want to be a vendor at both of them.
No.
I don't know. Even just this year, like I almost got a table, and then I didn't get it because it said it was out. There was no more tables available. And then when I talked to the guy who was running the show on Friday night, he was like, "Well, actually, a guy canceled. If you really want one," I'm like, "Dude, I'm not going to try and pull this together last minute." And even after going through all that, just walking around, I don't know if I'd want to be a vendor at one of those shows for the whole weekend without help, without someone that I could be like, you just kind of watch that for me there, buddy. I'll be back. And every now and then check.
Having some extra help is definitely beneficial.
So nice. Like when we have Aaron's wife Bethany with us, it lightens our load so much because sometimes Aaron and I get bombarded. And having hands is great.
I don't even think it would have been as beneficial for me to have a table because I wouldn't have been able to like kind of walk around and talk to people as much. And, I just would have been stuck. I mean, people.
That is the problem when you have a table or a booth. You get stuck at your table in your booth for the majority of the
unless
show.
you just care a little less about selling stuff and you just become mobile, which is
Well, I think in all honesty, working the convention, I think would be awful because that's not what I'm there for. Like I want to be able to walk around, talk to people and have a good time. Now, Mikey, I want to ask you a question because people are sitting here saying it's great logic. It's all in one hotel room. You were or it's all in the same hotel. You were there and the experience. And I think you understand the experience that I'm talking about. We're there till 3:30 in the morning hanging out. Is it the same feel at DFW? Are they hanging out there? Does the staff pretty much just allow people to hang out in the lobby? That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm asking. Is it the same feel? And not better or worse.
I had a similar experience in both shows. So this is the first year that it has been in this convention center hotel combination. So this is the first year that it's done like what you're accustomed to at Joefest, where you have the convention center and then you walk into the hotel room and that's where you're hanging out, is in the lobby and stuff like that.
Yeah. This
is the first year they've done that. And if I didn't get us kicked out that night with Gray, I think we're good.
Okay.
Because Gray and I were both very loud for hours. They were very cool about it.
Yeah, they seem cool about pretty much anything, honestly.
Yeah,
it was a big hangout, Larry. It's very similar sounding to what you're describing, honestly, this year.
It is. It was just different groups of people. Like it's just different. It's a different clique. It's a different group of people. But it also is enough space where you would be able to, have a conversation with somebody. Like if you wanted to discuss, something, specific with Ed, you could go into a little booth and you could do that, or you could be a part of the main room. It was very accommodating in that aspect.
No, and that's great. But again, like I didn't see anything like that. And that's, again, I'm not there really to buy anything that I can't get. I mean, everything that I bought at Joefest, I think Ed and I talked about, I can get anywhere. I can go to Sergeant Red's and pretty much get anything. And I can go online and get anything I want. What I can't get is the camaraderie, and meeting everyone. Yeah, the experience.
Yeah, we can get stuff all year round. And it's cool getting stuff in person. Like, I'm still a very tactile person. Like, I like to hold something before I purchase it. But yeah, we can buy crap anytime we want. But it's the experiences that I'm really paying for and making the effort to go to and create is time with friends. That's what I can't buy that.
Exactly. And you're never going to get it back.
No, if you miss it, that's it. I mean, that's how it works. Right?
Like I said, no matter. I mean, I guess it all depends on where you live, right? And which one's easier to get to. But you should definitely, if you collect action figures in general, you should definitely go to at least one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, be it one for sure. But I mean, like Punk, I get what you mean about if you're not into the the original designers, voice actors, creators, and that kind of stuff, that has definitely become a big draw because Greg thinks he feels that is the next logical step with his show, is growing it past toys and making it more about the people that we don't know how much longer we have them. We don't know how long Ron Rudad or Larry Hama or anything like that. So he's trying to cultivate that, which Ed did for several years. He had people that came and did that kind of stuff too. So whereas Ed is kind of expanded into less G.I. Joe centric and more just Comic-Con like, where it's just it's a broader brushstroke. Yeah. Greg has dialed it even further in and made it very Joe centric. But both,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, cool that's great. Like, I've never been an autograph seeker, so like I don't care. Like, I took a picture with Larry Hama because he was there at the Delta 17 booth, but that's the only reason. And I only, like the Seth Green, it was only because my daughter and I have been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or I would not have bothered him. And he's much shorter than me.
Is there more? I'll ask Mikey this question: is there more 1/6 scale Joe representation at DFW?
I bet there is, because there's a lot.
Because that's what it started as.
Yeah. I went to that show many years ago when it was all 1/6.
Yeah, it's still heavy 1/6 scale because those guys are still around and still doing that stuff. So that is definitely a big part of it. And you can see it when you go into that diorama room. Am I right, Rand?
Yeah.
I got some video of that, actually.
There's some really cool stuff because those guys have been doing it for 30, 40 years, And so it's definitely still very much heavy into more so than I would say most any other G.I. Joe show that 100%. I know of.
Yeah, Kentucky Anya is the same way, but that's a different show too. So.
There was like a very like almost a feeling of separation with some of the old timers and a lot of the people that were kind of like the YouTube kind of people that we all know each other from here. There was definitely some of that. I was talking to some of the old timers down in the diorama room, that were tending to all their 1/6 scale figures, and some of those vehicles just look amazing. The detail on that stuff, huge. I was waiting for that.
So I can say this, and this was something I noticed this year at Joefest and I was talking to the guys upstairs because there's like two different lobbies. There's the upstairs and the downstairs. And when I was talking to the guys upstairs where the swap meet was, they were saying that like they look at this as more like a convention to buy stuff to swap meet, and they look at Assembly Required, which is in Iowa, as that's their hangout. That's where they meet people. And I saw it completely different because downstairs, it's all the younger generation doing YouTube. And when you're downstairs, it seemed like we were way more rowdy. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all, but
I love Larry calling us the younger generation.
I know it's crazy though. But what I mean is the YouTube generation. Like, we're all there as that social hangout where the people up on the next level, they see it more as like a swap meet because they were going to JoeCon when it was JoeCon, and that's that's what it was. And they said assembly required is what they consider like their place to meet people and hang out, and it's not really so much a swap meet. And so I'm really interested to go to assembly required. I think Mikey, I think you said you go to that, don't you?
Yeah, I go to assembly required. I think this will be my 5th or 6th year going to assembly required.
Okay.
It is my favorite show. That's the one I absolutely love going to. But it is a much smaller show. I mean, it is.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole different dynamic because, like you said, those guys have been like coming up in this for a long time. Like with exception to like Ben with like Skeletron. Like he's relatively new to the scene, but a lot of those guys like they've been going to JoeCons and stuff like that for years, and now they're vendors, but at assembly required, it's a manageable size where even the vendors get to have the hangout and camaraderie that we all get to have at Joefest, at DFW, while the show's going on, because it's a low stress environment.
That's what it sounds like, and it's like a 9-hour drive for me. So easy.
Yeah, for you not so bad. It's the marketing and branding that Brian and those guys put into that is second to none. I mean, it's incredible. It's awesome. It's an awesome show. I love it.
And I'm looking forward to it because that's what Patrick Stewart was saying, that he goes
make it
not Picard.
Not
Picard Stewart.
But that's what he was saying. That's why Chris McLeod goes to that one. He said it's more of it's a hangout for them. And again, I see Joefest completely different than those guys. And talking to them, and Firefly was one of the guys too that I was talking to, and he was saying the same thing. Like, yeah, this is like one big swap meet. I'm like, you guys need to go downstairs because we didn't see it like that at all. So
no,
but it's nice that people can get different things out of different conventions like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And now everybody can tell Punk's used to doing his own show.
No, this is what you guys are here for. You're here to talk. So, but Aaron, we gotta hit this chat up because there's a lot of stuff in there all of a sudden.
Yeah. What we got? I'm probably gonna jump around.
Yeah, it's fine. There's a lot in there.
Yeah. Rachel said that she had a blast at DFW. El Presidente led its chat to her table for a swap meet. Amazing. Lunchbox says, I'd love to meet y'all. That's why I support everyone. Well, you never know. One day we may, hang out at the con a little longer. The teleportation device can only support short trips, so we had to get back and refuel the machine. So.
Is PowerCon going to be a thing this year?
Yeah, right.
PowerCon fuck knows.
Yeah, Atlanta again.
Val has been making some bold statements, but until I see something in writing, I'm just assuming it's dead.
Wow. Very disappointing.
I think that's what most people feel.
Yeah.
Justice Screamer said, did Fresh Monkey Fiction explain how they screwed up
They did.
Outsourcing.
They outsourced it, and that's why they redesigned Chatsworth to use their own design. So, yeah. But they didn't really have to say that because we all knew it.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought it's kind of self-explanatory.
I did miss that panel. I was sad about that.
That was the only one we went to.
Yep.
I went to the Matt LaCroix and Seth Green one because I was curious about. And Matt asked me to go, and I was like, "Well, yeah, of course, yeah, dude. You supported me in this shit since I started, dude. Of course, I'll be there."
Lunchbox says, Punk, it doesn't take long to shave your head.
It does. If you're using the razor, Like you can't miss spots or else you look really stupid.
When you got the
And-
melon the size of Punk and short arms, it takes a long time.
And I have a giant head.
Shaped like a bobblehead.
And it's not like I just shaved my head. I
Yeah.
also have to shower, and hell, it's free water and endless hot water. So why not?
I mean,
Have you ever tried one of those like razor, the electric ones or head
No.
shavers they got now?
Tony uses it and says it works pretty well, but I've never.
Hmm.
Action Joe Fix says DFW was a great event and are looking forward to next year. So a lot of people, there was a couple, we didn't start them all, but there was a lot of kind of banter back and forth, about saying that they're looking forward to next year, especially with them being a month apart. So what else we got? I think we already popped that up, so I'm not putting that there. Abby, what's up, man?
What up, Bobby?
Matthew Mathis said, which Savage Crucible did you get, Ed?
Matthew, if you ever looked at anybody else's pictures except your own, you would know because I've posted like 100 pictures of it since I got it. The warrior with ball and chain.
Which is odd because we're the only people without the ball and chain. And
Yeah. That's why I got this one. I needed a ball and chain in my life that I didn't have to answer to.
me too.
Balance. Smart.
Yeah.
I will say this: I am a little disappointed that I didn't get the one that I got Matthew. I should have bought one for myself.
What, the Jaeger? Or
Yeah.
You got the other warrior, right? No, you got the
Yeah, I got the ball and chain, but I kind of want the Jaeger now.
Yeah.
It is a really good figure.
My friend Travis is giving me his Jaeger, so
Action Joe Figs. This is all back. We're talking about. Talking about the hotel. That's why he loved DFW. Got tired, went upstairs, arrested for a bit, and came back down. So, kind of nice. Ken said, DFW was out fucking standing.
Well said, Ken. Well said.
Matthew says you have to wear that hat more. People will remember the hat.
Yeah, the wizard hat, Radnom. You gotta wear your wizard hat.
Coming from Matt, that does make sense. He would know about the hat thing.
And if you guys haven't, make sure you're hitting that like button because YouTube says that you should like it, and people will come watch our video.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, I think Mikey, this was for you. Did they record the panel, and if so, where can they watch it?
If they didn't, they had cameras pointing, so they I believe they were, but I don't know that for sure. Check their website or message them on Facebook. Probably be able to tell you.
Jeff Norris says thought the FBI told Ted that he could not leave Ohio. No, Ted's wife says he can't leave Ohio.
She's very dependent upon me.
Yeah, worry about
You
the
can
FBI.
bring her.
He can't go anywhere because he lost the blue mule, so he can't drive anywhere and load anything.
Yeah, I
up.
did lose the blue mule actually.
Do we have an update on that?
Your daughter lost it.
Yeah, no. So my daughter let her boyfriend borrow it, and I think it's been like a year, and he's moved
over a
twice
year.
since then. He's moved twice since then. So
Well, that's how he's moving so much.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. So
Just
who
follow
knows
him.
where it is?
The next time he moves, go over there and go, I want my blue mule back.
Yeah.
Rollkeeper says the only thing that was awkward about DFW were the hundreds of teen girls in the hotel.
That was uncomfortable.
Somewhat accurate, yeah.
Were they there for a school function or something?
Yeah,
or?
it was some kind of volleyball or softball thing. But at the same time, there was also teenage boys there for something else. And so
Ooh.
I have a feeling in 9 months there's going to be a lot of pregnancies.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
So that's all we
Yeah.
need is
Curfews never work for teenagers, so
See,
you're
now
supposed
we
to
know
be in your room
Eric
at midnight.
Twinhander
Yep.
is heading there this year. No, next year.
I think that's why people were having like weird reactions to the pool water the next day, though. not a good time for others.
That's why I don't go in the pool, man. I'm a people watcher. Maybe I'll stick a foot in, but that's about as far as I go.
Do they serve Steel Reserve at hotels usually, Aaron? Or
yes, it's called. I bring a whole bunch of them, stick them in the refrigerator, then I pay myself to open one.
Nice,
smart.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, these hotel beers, man, for $3, I guess.
I bet the Blue Mule would be really handy for pulling those Steel Reserves into the hotel with you if you had one of those.
It'd fall apart.
That would be quite
a 112 pack. So no,
That's true.
You know, that's a good idea. You know, Ted, let's get that investigation going. Let's go rescue the Blue
Fire it up.
Mule.
I mean, if you want your beer to constantly fall off of the Blue Mule, then yes, that is the move.
I mean, it has
sure.
one job. It needs to be drank. It doesn't really matter how it gets there.
Ted, you understand you could do a whole video now as the hunt for the Blue Mule, and you could have like, we're setting out now at 6:45 a.m. I'm trying to figure out where this bastard is. Calling the boyfriend. I mean, you show up at his house, bang on the door at weird times.
This is
Just drive around those couple of blocks that you drive every day.
this is Mossman's next. This is Mossman's next.
Man.
Mossman's next adventure hunt. For
Yeah.
the
Moss
That-
Man on a
that would be
stakeout. That
fucking
sounds
You know what?
good.
Yeah,
Maybe
sunglasses,
Mossman
trench coat.
can bring Dopey.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
God.
I say mix it. Mix live action and Mossman cuts in there. You know, like
That would be good.
there's a
that
lot
would be
you can
really
do.
I don't know, Dopey. We got to go find that Blue Mule so we can get this beer carried into the hotel for Aaron. That motherfucker
right.
drinks so much Steel Reserve, I'll tell you. I just don't know what to do with it.
I'm still waiting on my sponsorship. Damn it! It's gonna be a matter of time before they start sending me checks.
Yeah.
They've been trying to figure out why the sales are so good in your area. As soon as they find out.
Worldwide, baby. People overseas now, they're like, man, gotta get that Steel Reserve somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking out for you people. Don't worry.
Smart consideration.
James says, besides STCC, are there any shows near the same size as Joefest?
Okay, so I don't know how to, like, Motor City Comic Con. It is way bigger than Joefest.
Yeah, go ahead and promote Michigan. Here we go.
Yeah, New York City Con is bigger than Joe.
Yeah, so
San
like,
Diego Comic Con is way bigger than
yeah,
Joe.
so all those shows like that. But when you're talking about something like Joe Fest or Assembly Required, Legions Con, they are specialized in like a certain group of people.
Not
So
anime.
Not anime.
True.
Although I like anime, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just,
You don't want to be by any furry conventions, all right? Which
You didn't say that at PowerCon.
well, I didn't realize that's what it was. Went to the bar and have something to drink, and then realize we are the most normal people here. And it wasn't even a contest, all right?
No. It was definitely a very interesting group of people.
Yes, but yeah. So I mean, there are other shows like that, like Toylanta and Joe Lanta. I think are like similar to DFW. But I mean, they're all friends too. I believe the guy that owns those two also is like good friends with the DFW guy. So there are other shows that are specialized in certain things, but like your local, like if you're in a big inner city, like Chicago Comic Con, what's MegaCon? MegaCon, I think is huge. So yeah, there's other cons that are bigger, but it's the focused ones that I think most people are more interested in. That's where you have the camaraderie.
Yeah.
What we got here? Nolan decides, finally come join us.
Nolan.
It's okay, Nolan. We won't hold that against you, at least on air.
You're finally ToyTube official.
Ed, are you speaking? Because we can't hear you.
I was talking to somebody in the room, so that's why I was on mute.
Mm.
And then War Chest is here.
Scott.
Welcome. Glad to have you join us.
Awesome. That's it for the chat.
That's it, man.
Ooh-wee. The chat has been wild tonight. I love their participation. So for all y'all in the chat who are chatting away, thank you. But we've been going for almost 2 hours, and that means it is time to wrap it up.
I thought it was time for Ted to shill his shit.
No.
What?
No.
Ted is shilling himself to sleep.
Yeah. Well,
Ted's like, I need a cold pill and a bed.
Yeah. Well, I gotta be up in like fucking 5 hours.
That's awesome.
That is,
I need one of those so I
uncanny.
can wear that for Halloween.
You just
I'm gonna cut it
My
out.
God, there's 2 of them.
Mikey, I like you and
know.
all, but that sticker makes your head look huge.
Nah,
it's all about perspective.
all right. Yeah, I'm just holding it.
It was just the way you were holding it, Rednum. That's all.
Just like that.
Ed, what would you like to promote? Hold on,
Tuesday
Ed.
night.
Do you have a Mikey sticker? Do you
Yeah,
have a
no,
Mikey
no,
sticker? I
Mikey,
need all of
everybody
y'all to
should.
put the Mikey
Mikey
up.
did not give me a sticker. Because I didn't
You
even
gotta-
get past the first level. I'm only at 0.5.
Yeah. You're still on intro probation.
Yeah.
We get Mikey and Roman together.
All right, Ed. What would you like to promote?
Tuesday night, the ToyLeet will be back after being off for the last 2 weeks because of life gets in the way between Joefest and Travis had obligations this past week. So we'll be back Tuesday night talking about some new toys and stuff that are on the horizon, things we're looking forward to. And that's at 9:00 on the ToyLeet Network.
Awesome.
Imagine seeing that every time you go to the bathroom, man. That's got to be.
What do you think I see?
You got a mirror in front of you.
Here, right
Oh,
there.
man.
Stop
You're
looking.
beautiful. I love you. All right, let's go.
Tremendous hair, great hair. Don't stop.
Punk, what would you like to promote?
Oh, let's see. I have Monday Night Toy Ramblings tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have Circle of Jerks at 6:30 on Tuesday, and then this Thursday I have at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday with a friend, where I am going to have Gady's Toys on.
Circle of Jerks. Is that allowed on YouTube?
It's fitting.
Yeah. People watch it.
Yes. You should see the cookies that we give out.
Oh man. See, you should lead with that. Then I'm all in.
It's really Circle of Bald Jerks, but they wouldn't allow bald on YouTube, just jerks.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's too many descriptors.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Mikey, what would you like to promote?
so many things. Tomorrow night I'll be on with the Mega Powers Monday Night crew with Kanan and Abby. Wednesday I'll be JMK Custom Works live. Thursday at the same time Punk does his thing, we'll be doing our thing. Or figure it out with Scott.
Whatever Punk's doing, you're doing it too.
I'm just gonna copy his time zones because they seem like they're working for him. Just try to steal all that shit. Yeah, that's all I've got. That's all.
Man, you guys are fucking busy. Jesus. 3 streams in a week. Ugh. I can
We don't
barely
have
do
real life
this.
friends. This is what we
So
do.
technically, this makes 4.
Oh, sounds awful. Awful.
And-
Well, and you got the clubhouse on Saturdays too, right?
I haven't been on that very much. I need my
Oh.
break. This weekends I've kind of shut myself off from all like live YouTubes for the most part. Other than last week, because I know Oz wanted to talk about Joefest, so I was just I've been off.
Very relatable. Radnam, what would you like to promote?
Yeah, I mean, all the usuals. Random Diorama at Instagram. Or that's a website. I'm really not awake yet. So Random Diorama on Instagram, also YouTube, where we're sitting right now. But really, if you haven't yet, go check out the Catwalk play set and the new tower we put up at Hella Dope Toys. Also, although I haven't talked to Ted and Aaron too much about this yet, so maybe they won't hit me. But these were very popular, the handouts, and I got a lot of requests. So there's actually a larger version that I might be putting up for sale, although I haven't talked to Ted and Aaron. And these are cool because you can slide your own custom graphic in there, so you can put whatever you want on the screen. And yeah, so hopefully that will be on Helidope Toys as long as they are. We can get the details worked out on that. But
Ted, this reminds me of when we started selling Action Force. Like, oh, I guess that's happening now.
Oh yeah. When they're like, by the way, the newest retail partner for Action Force, and we're like, we are. That's so exciting.
yeah, also a lot of people did hit me up about those version 2 crates while we were at when I was at DFW. So we could, yeah, we'll talk about that soon.
Crates full.
You got
of
lots of time for
guns.
that, Red. Now I'm getting busy.
More crates.
More crates.
Crates are amazing. They're the
More
best.
crates. Domestic crates are the best crates.
Tariff free.
No tariffs. No Chinese.
Aaron, what would you like to promote?
Oh man, I don't know if it's because
Promote it
I've been
for you.
doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff with Google, but like a lot of like stuff that we've had for a while. Action Force, Necronomicon has been moving again. So if you're still looking to army build, those things are still there. That Spider-Man 3 from Hasbro is preparing to ship next week, so that should be here. My guess is Friday. Other than that, I've got nothing. Hit that like button and subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. I feel obligated now because like we're like really close. We might as well just push to 1,000 now.
Yeah, we are getting there.
The grind to 1,000 begins today.
Do it.
All right.
Do it now.
You heard it, friends. We are on the grind to 1,000. We were at 826 when we started the show. We have been doing this since 2022. We hit 500 in 2023. So it would be cool if maybe before the end of 2025 we could hit 1,000.
Well,
That would
if you
be
did
dope.
Detective Mothman and the Hunt for the Blue Mule, you'd be all over it, man. You'd be up to like 2,000 in no time.
We could definitely do it.
Have you thought about buying some like other YouTubers? I heard it works.
In my desperate moments, I have, but then I'm like, we gotta buy toys. I can't fucking afford to
It's
throw
one or
money
the
at
other,
fake
you
box.
That's
Yeah.
If you just did shorts for like 1 month, you would be there.
I always gotta think about how to do something.
Yeah, I
Just
don't know.
saying.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll do shorts while I'm sitting on the toilet with a toy.
You can.
Like, here, buy this. And like,
Or in the bathtub. That's more appropriate.
with my rubber ducky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So check
They're
it,
all
friends.
good
Go to helladopetoys.com. Buy something, anything. Go buy some of this stuff from Radnom. There's a whole section for Radnom where you can get the catwalk playset and the tower. And to answer somebody's question in the chat, these are only 1/18 scale, no 1/12 scale at this time.
At this time.
The consoles are 1/12 scale, though, correct? That you were holding up? Or are those 1/18 as well?
These little guys,
Yeah, that's 1/18.
they're basically 1/18, but you know what?
You could definitely fudge a 112.
They don't look weird with the 112.
They don't. They're kind of in the middle. So
Awesome. So go to helladopetoys.com, buy something. We're going to ship it out to you. If you ordered a tower, those should be
Good job.
landing to you tomorrow or Tuesday, I imagine,
nice.
because they are out somewhere in space. Next week, it's just me and Aaron for now. Don't know what the calendar looks like for the rest of July, but
This schmuck right here just woke up.
Yeah, I am so disappointed in him. Jesus.
What are you in
Just woke
Indonesia?
up.
Why did you just
What-
wake up?
What kind of support for your partner is that, right? I
Yeah,
come
dude.
on.
He was
Unexpected.
up late ordering more 3D printers. Okay, leave the guy alone.
That makes sense.
Did you ship out my Hexastack yet?
Maybe he was opening up his Savage Crucible.
That's what a way to wake up. He just gets like punched in the mouth 5 times in a row.
He's used to it.
That'll teach you.
Yeah.
I figured I was gonna wait. I'll text him. I'll text him like some
He's
more.
like, I should have just caught the replay.
Yeah, now you know what Tina Turner feels like. Wake
Oh,
up
but
in the mouth.
And
All
you
right,
guys,
well,
you guys said
he's
something.
already dead. He's already dead. But gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to tell us about your really cool weekend and all the awesome fun that you had. And as always, it's great to see you guys. So I'm always happy to have you on. And yeah, we will be back next week. Until then, you can watch these guys all week because apparently they're on like 10 times. So go watch all these fools. Come back next Sunday for me and Aaron. That's all. Love you all. Goodbye.